13 of Tea Time History. Today's question is, how and why did changes in warfare affect diplomacy, the European state system, and the balance of power? What started the French Revolution was usually Enlightenment ideas and the political and economic crisis happening in France. Now, Louis XVI, who was the king at the time, established a National Assembly, which became a new legislator during the French Revolution to help kind of regulate things. So they passed a policy that the Catholic Church would become state-owned rather than private-owned, and that they would not disband until a proper constitution was built for the people. So with the French Revolution, the Great Fear had started, and the Great Fear was basically, it started with a rumor that the aristocrats were going to starve out like all the peasants and all the working class, basically because of the food shortages and the unstable economy. So this rumor really got to the peasants, and they kind of assembled their own groups and decided to burn all these aristocrats' mansions down. Now the National Assembly had to eventually step in, and they created the August Decrees, which kind of deleted that rumor and reassured these peasants that that was absolutely not true. Back to King Louis XVI, other people felt that he was trying to kind of destroy the monarchy and put in democratic ideologies and stuff like that. So he was put on to trial and executed for that after the French Revolution. After he was executed, the Jacobin Republic was established, and their reign was known as the Reign of Terror. They set up policies for fixed prices and wages, and also a policy of de-Christianization. Their reign of terror was known as a huge dictatorship in that area.
So another war that happened was World War I. And people didn't really expect the war to last as long as it did. So countries, belligerent countries, were forced to put most of their resources into the war. That's known as total warfare. Now, during World War I, new weapons started to emerge. One of these weapons were the submarines. Germans were the first ones to actually utilize these boats. They were called U-boats, and they were in the British Isles attacking ships randomly because they couldn't really tell which ships they were attacking from underwater. And the British couldn't really fight back in the beginning because these U-boats were kind of undetectable, they were underwater, so they couldn't see. And one time, a German torpedo hit the Sussex ship, and this had American citizens on it, which greatly angered the United States. So the United States gave a warning and basically told Germany that if they did it again, that they would just end all diplomatic ties with Germany. And that's basically why they signed the Sussex Pledge. However, Germany eventually just ignored the pledge and just totally annihilated any ship that came, and announced that the British Isles was a war zone. And other technologies such as radios, automobiles, airplanes, and chemicals were used in this warfare. These weapons resulted in more dead people. This led to people really questioning the government whether or not that this war was even worth it, because, I mean, their brothers, their dads, their siblings were just dying. So people were just like, does our government really have our interest in mind? By the end of the war, there were more republics than monarchs. For example, during the war, the Russian Revolution happened. And basically, people were just really tired of the living conditions that they were going through, so they overthrew their monarch and established the Soviet Union. This world war badly damaged Europe's economy, and people just weren't trusting the government anymore, so basically Europe was a bad place. And this allowed the United States to emerge as one of the top world powers. recap time!
So the French Revolution began because of Enlightenment ideas and political and economic crisis. King Louis XVI established a National Assembly which became the new legislator during the French Revolution. The National Assembly made a lot of changes. They also established the August Decree, which kind of simmered down the Great Fear. And after King Louis XVI's execution, the Jacobin Republic had set up its own reign of terror.
Another war was World War I, and this war led to total warfare and new weapons such as submarines, airplanes, and chemicals, which resulted in many deaths. People began to lose trust within the government and lean more towards republicanism. So by the end of the war, there were more republics than monarchs. So, for example, the Russian Revolution. World War I badly damaged Europe economically, and so this led the US to become a major world power.